What's up? We are here at the back nine of Edwards Disc Golf Park here in Dalton, Georgia. We just did the front nine hole by hole review along with Timelapse. If you didn't get a chance to watch that one yet, I'll drop the link in the comments. We are going to review the back nine just as we did the front nine for you guys. Fantastic track out here. We're going to start obviously with this open hole, and then we're going to weave through some pretty serious woods. We've got Orion Cup, I think, that's being hosted out here maybe in May, April. I don't remember. I don't have Disc Golf Scene up right now. You guys know anyway, not me. That is being hosted out here. Defending champ Aiden Scott. And then on the Globro side of things, we have a Final Four match coming up here soon between Billy Heath, our 1 seed, and Cody Lacey, our 5 seed. So stay tuned for that. If you guys haven't watched those matches, our March Madness, Bracket Madness tourney matches, please check those out. Quite entertaining. Anyway, let's get into it. I'm done babbling. All right, hole 10, par 3, over the hill, down the hill. That yellow pole right there represents 250 to the hole. It is a par 3. I don't know what maniacs out here are throwing 500-foot shots and birdieing this hole, but if you've done it, I want to hear about it. So drop that comment. Let me know how you did it. Tell me what you threw. Tell me when you did it. Let's walk the hole. All right, we've arrived at the basket here at hole 10. As you guys can tell, hole's wide open, but 500 feet is still 500 feet. And it appears to me that if you want to get home and have a birdie putt, if you're throwing some sort of backhand, about 90 feet short over here is very tall grass. If you don't clear that, you're not getting any ground play. You're still not going to get a lot of ground play because it's uphill. Obviously, the tall grass is much closer to the basket on the left side. And that's about all there is to this hole. A good pump or 2 mids. Take your par if you're my level. Again, if you make birdie here, congratulations. I'd love to hear about it. Let's get on the next hole. All right, we're at the tee, hole 11, short hole, downhill, 210 feet. That's not a Mando, but I don't know where else you're going to throw it. What's up, puppy dog? It's a slight dog leg right. That gap is maybe the size of a closet door. You got options, probably just some sort of forehand, little flick forehand. I actually threw a Tommy here, not recommended. I'm not right. Guess you could throw a backhand turnover. I don't see that. I really think it's just a forehand flip. Hit that gap. If you hit that gap, you got a birdie putt. Let's walk it. Oh, look, a puppy dog. How about that? What's up, buddy? You doing good? Good. All right, we've reached the green here at hole 11, as you guys can see from the walkthrough and from the shot behind me. Pretty forced tunnel. If you can hit a forehand, get it sliding through here, you'll just basically hit the wood, have yourself a tap-in birdie. If you happen to hit one of those early trees, you're in Scramble City, population U. Good luck on your birdie. On to hole 12. All right, we're at the tee here at hole 12, which is a downhill, pretty severe dogleg left, 270 feet, par 3. There is a creek back there that you do want to avoid. It does sneak up on you. The line that you're probably going to want to take if you don't look at the hole is this one. Beyond that first gap, you've got other trees to beat. In my opinion, the gap is to go wide with some height. There's plenty of room to push it up, throw something stable, and give it time to fight. And also stall out so that you're not going to the creek. It does not play 270. I can tell you when I play, I typically throw my disc that goes about 230, a culprit. Other than that, let's walk the hole, see what we can see. All right, we've arrived at the green here at hole 12. The basket is bent. I don't know how that happened. Somebody got angry. Bulldog. Anyway, As you guys can see, we took the wide line that I was talking about. Once you hit that first gap, that's the tree right there that you have to beat. And then once you do that, allergies. Anyway, once you beat that tree, it's just going to push. Now, this area is typically wet. I don't know the last time it rained here, but this is still wet. Now, there is a creek that's probably 40 right of the basket, so that's what you want to avoid. You don't want to throw deep, obviously, but you're not going to get a lot of ground play here. So that's why I recommend that high, wide line with the height. Give it time to fight back into the basket. Give yourself, I don't know, 12-footer if you can make it. Best of luck on the birdie. Next hole. Hole 13. It is a par 4. Edwards finally gives you a little breathing room, kind of. It's 425 feet. Straight about halfway, and then a severe dogleg. I'm just going to call it an L to the left. You've got plenty of big trees out there. You've got brush to the far right you're trying to avoid. You're really just trying to throw a mid out there through this gap right there. Stable out. Leave yourself a decent upshot. You can chase big distance here if you put it inside of that darker tree right there and you get it pushing. You can absolutely leave yourself with some sort of long jump putt for eagle. If you do that, good luck. Let's walk it. Okay, we're here at the green at hole 13. We did take the walk that is indicative of the tee shot through the path of those two, that group of trees right there. You hit that gap. That's what you want to push through if you're going to have any chance at trying to have an eagle putt. As you can see, that is the proposed gap anyway. So you really have two options off the tee. You lay it up to that gap, or you try to push it through that gap. It's a great risk-reward par 4. It's not long, but it doesn't need to be because it gives you the option. But if you don't hit the line, if you hit one of those trees back there and you kick left or right, you're scrambling for par. That's all there is to it. Best of luck on your birdie or your eagle. On to hole 14. All right, we're here at the tee at hole 14, which is a par 3, 315 feet. Slightly up the hill, ever so slightly dogleg right. I don't know if you can see it or if it's behind that tree. Either way, that's where it is. The real risk to this hole is if you're throwing a backhand with the hyzer flip up, is these two trees right here off the tee. You've got to peel it off there, and then you've got to let it ride through the gap, flat as can be, with a little baby turnover. I'd say at most this fairway might be 18 feet wide. That's the real danger. If you hit those early kick, again, you're going to be lucky if you scramble for the par. If you hit that gap, you're going to have yourself a birdie putt. Let's go walk it. All right, we've arrived at the green here at hole 14. As you guys can see, maybe the tee is visible right there from the basket. So it is fairly straight. You can see the subtle dogleg right. That's about all there is to that. The green is very small. You've got trees on both sides, probably 12 feet on the right, 15 feet on the left. Best of luck with your birdie. On to hole 15. All right, we're here at the tee at hole 15. As you can see, we have another tunnel. The basket is straight as the crow flies from the tee to the basket. The problem is we're not throwing crows, we're throwing discs. So you do have that straight tunnel right there. You do have the forehand gap, which I think is the most favorable gap. And then, well, I wouldn't even mess with that other side. There's no reason for that. If you're Damon, you apparently throw a flip-up river and you ace it in a tournament. Just ask him about it. He'll tell you. Let's walk the hole. Okay, we've reached the green here at hole 15. We are standing maybe 10 feet past the basket, and my feet are at the height of the top of the cage. So this slope is severe from left to right of the hole. You are going to need to worry about how your disc angle comes in here, and you're also going to need to worry about how your putt lands. It flattens out pretty conservatively over here, pretty quick, so it shouldn't be too bad as far as rollouts. Just something to be aware of. Good luck on your birdie. On to hole 16. Hole 16, par 4, up the hill, 500 feet. As you can see, the tee shot is a forced tunnel shot through here. You are going to want to push it. I don't know the exact distance. I'd say if you threw it 320, you're probably doing good. And you're going to want it to finish over there because there is another quote-unquote forced gap to access the basket up that way. You're throwing out into a field. You do have some options here. Obviously, forehand. Righty forehand is ideal. You can throw a backhand turnover. We won't talk about rollers because nobody wants to talk about rollers, I guess. Let's just walk the hole. All right, we've reached the basket here at the par 4 16th, 500 feet. As you can see, finishes up the hill. This is a small green. You've got brush 12 feet to the right of the basket. You've got trees 12 feet to the left of the basket, and it slopes away the whole time. You definitely need to be precise off the tee. You definitely need to be precise with your upshot to leave yourself a makeable putt for birdie. I think the theme that we've learned here, we've had 2 par 4s. Neither one of them are long, but they are, the first one was very doable. This one takes a technical little line, precise landing off the tee to access the hole for the birdie. Best of luck. On to hole 17. All right, what's up? We're here at hole 17, par 3, 310 feet. Edwards has finally opened up for us again with 2 holes to go. You can hit this gap right here on a backhand. The basket sits on a slope. You can take this out this way, wide forehand. Not recommended. The road is OB. Let's walk it. All right, we're at the basket here at hole 17. As you guys can see, Edwards has opened up for us. The one thing I will say about this, besides obviously the sloping green away from the basket, is that any time I've ever played this hole with anybody I've ever played this hole with, we always say it feels like it plays longer than what the tee sign says by about 20 or 30 feet. I've thrown shots that I thought were pure, and I've come up 20 or 30 feet short. I'm not telling you to overthrow the disc. Just take note. Good luck with the birdie. On to hole 18. Okay, we've arrived at the 18th hole. Bomber's Paradise. Edwards has just beat you up for 17 holes, and she says, give me your best. Par 4, 800 feet, blind tee shot. It's going to go up this hill, then it goes down the hill, and then it kind of goes ever so slightly back up the hill. The basket itself is actually behind this group of trees. Obviously, you've got this slope to the left, to the right, which is OB, parking lot, so you do not want to turn anything over too hard. I think the best way to access this hole is absolutely keeping it up on this ridge so that you can throw a big hyzer to the basket. The problem with that, as you guys will see in just a second, is there is a drainage ditch that's just right of the basket that is OB. Your other option is to throw something over the hill to the left and then try to access the basket through the gap in the trees on the forehand. I don't know which one we're going to walk, but we're going to walk it. So let's do it. All right, we've reached the green here at the par 4 18th to finish up. As you guys can see, wide open bomber hole. Rip it off the tee, set yourself up, try to park it for the birdie. Miss this retention pond. That's it for the back 9 here at Edwards. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for tuning in. If you've aced any of these holes, drop a comment. Let me know what you threw. Let me know which hole it was. Let me know when you did it. We'll see you guys on the next one. Make sure you be like Barrett. Ring that bell. Bing.